Keeping you informed. This is In.form on WBDC and 18 WJTS.
Hello and welcome to this very special In.form here on 101 Country WBDC and 18 WJTS. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and today we're talking about a more newer organization in our Dubois County area, the ALASI group movement, the Resource Center, and all these things. And I would be remiss not to invite their directora, Miss Rossina, with us in today to talk about that. So welcome, Rossina. It's a pleasure to have you.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much for having me here. This is exciting.
Very exciting. We just got the pleasure of realizing that this is your first TV interview. You're going to do great. You're going to do fine. Nothing wrong with that. And, I think the community's come to recognize you as the ALASI person. So being able to hear from you and, see what great work you're doing is hopefully what we intend to do today. However, Rossina, let's just go ahead and dive right in. I would love to hear more about some of your history, heritage that you kind of bring with you and, how you ended up here in Dubois County.
Okay, all right. Well, I was born in Piedras Negras, Coahuila, Mexico. It's a small border town. It borders with Eagle Pass, Texas. Mm-hmm. I lived there. I was born in a very hardworking middle-class family. I am the eldest of three. My brother, he immigrated to Canada, and my sister, she immigrated to Switzerland. Wow. To Sweden. Oh, my God.
That's okay.
My brother, he immigrated to Canada, and then my sister, she immigrated to Sweden. And I am here in Dubois County, Indiana. My parents are still in Mexico. When we get together, which is often, we do see each other all together at least once or twice a year, but we keep communication channels open. I think that's one of the most important things of an immigrant family. We always praise our parents for allowing us the safe space to grow into our homes, to grow into our mindsets, to explore and to dare to live life. I think that is something that keeps us incredibly united. So I was born in Piedras Negras. I studied there. I graduated as a psychologist, and then I had the privilege and the opportunity to go study early childhood education in Vancouver, Canada. Living in Vancouver, Canada, opened a secret door. That's how I call it. We didn't know the terms equity, cultural competency. We were not aware of the definitions of those words, but we lived it. We lived it because we were living in a system that allowed access for everyone. So that started changing my mind and opening the doors to the skills and the assets of global perspectives, just spending time with people of different cultural backgrounds. It ignited a spark in me. After that, I went back to Mexico. And over there in Mexico, I felt like my heart and my brain were not at sync. But despite that, I stayed there. I opened my private practice. I had the opportunity to work as a psychologist for 8 wonderful, amazing years. And then I chose love. I found the love of my life, and he happens to be a U.S. citizen with Mexican parents. Our first year of marriage, we decided to start looking, to embark in this adventure and to identify a place where we could grow. In that search process, he identified different places where he could start working, and one of those places was Master Brandon Ferdinand.
Oh.
I still remember, he was like, oh my God, I have an interview in Ferdinand, Indiana. And I was like, wait a minute, let me Google that space. And we said, okay, well, we can go, we can try. And here we are. we moved in 2015, and we found our home. Now I can say that we found our space.
That is amazing. And you've been here for about 10 years now. And I think, you've only integrated yourself into the community even more with that. And the way that you describe it, just amazing. And we are glad to have you because you've done such great work with ALASI and in all of the efforts that you guys continue to try to do there. So with that, will you tell us a little bit about the difference between ALASI as the grassroots movement versus the Resource Center where you primarily work out of?
Yes. Oh my God, such an interesting story. And I do have to say, we have a documentary about the history of ALASI throughout the years coming soon, so wait for it. Yes, you mentioned it quite perfect. I do see two stages. ALASI is ALASI and will always be this movement that started in 2008 with a group of Dubois County community members. I think it was probably like 2 months ago that I was sitting down with one of the founders, and he said, I was sitting there, and we had no idea what we were doing, but we knew we needed this idea that we were having. That's how it started. It started with people talking about the needs they saw in the place they go home. So they started meeting, they started gathering, and with the support of a lot of different people and community members in Dubois County, they started the first Latino Culture Fest. So at first, ALASI, among many other things that they were doing, it became recognized because of the Latino Culture Fest. But that's not the only thing they were doing. They were helping the community in many different ways. Many times I feel, and this is my personal opinion, I think the most important thing that founder groups were doing is to focus on strengthening the culture of the Latino community members living in Dubois County. Why do I say this? By gathering and creating these monthly meetings, these monthly safe spaces where they say, oh, we would just be meeting for like probably 3 to 4 to 5 hours. And I'm like, what meetings runs those that long? And I'm like, okay, Latino meetings run that long. And kids were running. Some people were making pupusas, and we were discussing the issues we were having in our community. Started creating that safe space for community members to be able to talk. That strengthens cultural identity. That strengthens what you share with your kids, with your grandkids. That strengthens a community and overall the quality of place in the city. So I always say yes. ALASI started getting a lot of recognition because the wonderful, amazing Latino Culture Fest that we now have here in Dubois County, but the core of that were those safe spaces.
Right. And what you hope to do with, of course, again, the aspect of community is one sense, but then the ALASI Resource Center was kind of born out of that, and you guys assist people. You're kind of the in-betweens to help people get to resources that they need around the area, right?
Oh my God, yes. So that movement continued growing and continued gathering more and more and more people. And at the same time, our demographics in Dubois County started changing. Our businesses started hiring a lot more people with diverse backgrounds. ALASI started changing, including new leadership. The first bilingual leaders of ALASI, and they are that group. That group is the one that started moving ALASI from that monthly meetings, and probably it was also they had they organized soccer tournaments and help for the community. This new group of leaders, they started strengthening relationships with our businesses, with our government. So it comes in very different stages. Then this last stage that we had the honor and, again, the privilege of working with the Center for All Engagement under the program Sustaining Hoosier Communities, they brought up a team. It was no kidding. More than 20 amazing students who shared their intellectual power with us and created this roadmap to opening the Resource Center, which has been open now for 2 years since September 15th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that roadmap, it was so hard. It was long. It was a long, we knew we had a long way to go. We knew that we needed to identify so many assets and community resources to be able to achieve the goal that Sustaining Hoosier Communities came up with. But the plan was so well detailed that till now, we're preparing to launch our fundraising campaign. But until now, we are still using that plan.
Wow. That
plan. We followed the plan. We gathered the money thanks to the help of our sponsors. And we opened the Resource Center September 15th, 2023. And that same day, we had our first client. It was incredible. Till now, what are we doing in the ALASI Resource Center? Our strategic plan is divided in 4 different areas: advancing access, expanding education, celebrating culture, everybody likes that, and voicing our vision, which is advocacy. If I focus a little bit of what we physically do at the center, at our beautiful building on 4th Street in Huntingburg, we receive families up to date. We have received more than 1,000 families in just 2 years. This is impressive. The numbers keep growing. We help them access all of the different systems that we have here in the community that we live in. By different systems, I mean the education system, the legal system, housing, basic needs, and a few others, depending on the needs of the family. And this is not just filling out intake forms. This is about accompanying a family and helping them understand the system here in Dubois County in the United States, and how is it different from the systems that we grew up in. What is the best way to take advantage of what we deserve as humans? It is a beautiful labor of love. I mean, this is philanthropy. This is philanthropy. We are here because of the love of men, literally. And what we do, it is a labor of love. We help families grow, not just go to the doctor, but grow and learn to live in a place they called home.
Right, and that is just life-changing work for those who don't know where to start. So the Resource Center and thus the board of directors and all of the things that come in behind that, and having that strategic plan, it is all a very necessary thing to have if Dubois County in southern Indiana is supposed to continually grow and invite these people to then call it their own home as well. So again, just you said thousands of families that you've helped. That is a huge impact on this local community for sure. We're going to take a little bit of a remission here, though it may not seem like it. And we're going to actually invite one of your board members on. So we're very excited to, see more of the impact ALASI has given from person to person. So This has been your In.form. We'll be right back with even more about ALASI right after this. Welcome back to this very special edition of In.form here on 101 Country WBDC and 18 WJTS. Again, I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and we're here with Rossina from ALASI, and we've brought a friend along this time. We have one of our board members. Donna, will you introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about how you got involved with ALASI?
All right, great. I'm glad to be here with Rossina and talking about ALASI. My name's Donna Balka. I've been involved with ALASI, but first most, I became involved with what we call the Latino Collaboration Table. It was probably back in 2014, 2015. Mayor Spinner and I, at the time, I was the administrative director of the Dubois County Health Department. We could see the rising needs and concerns of the Latino community, and we felt we needed to do something to try to address those. So he and I formed the Latino Collaboration Table, and it was really a group of just interested people in our community, from the schools, different service agencies, our employers, the hospital. And we brought those people together because we needed to what we felt was to marry the needs of the Latino community with the skills of the Latino community with those same needs and skills that our employers were facing. And then we did that for several years, was really very successful, but it was really just a group of volunteer people. A few years ago, and Rossina, I'm sure, could tell us exactly, probably in 2022, the IU Center for Real Engagement came in and did a study for us. And one of the big findings was why don't we meld the two organizations, which was the perfect answer. There is no need to duplicate services. So we brought the strengths of both organizations together to make it one just amazing organization. And so ALASI is a 501c3, which is a non-for-profit organization. So we had to build the board. We set a new strategic plan and all that kind of just developmental information, and we've gone forward since then.
Right, and maybe yourself and Rossina can kind of collaborate on this. Can you tell us, since you guys have merged and continued to evolve ALASI, which is the movement as well as the Resource Center, how have you seen the cultural differences be implemented, maybe changed in our local area now that you guys have, again, the Resource Center and have been able to provide various events for the Latino community, or maybe even how community members maybe who may not have seen themselves of the Latino community, how you see them giving back and, participating in what you guys have to offer?
Well, I think some of that has changed over the years, which is exactly what we want to happen. It's definitely the ALASI board is a multicultural board. It is not just Latinos. It is not just Anglos. We are a mix, and that's what makes us so great. So just in that natural happening, I think that the Latino community has seen the Anglos that are involved. It took them a while to get to know us and to accept us, and that is fine. And we need to earn their trust and their reliance in us, and I think that is gradually starting to happen. When you go to the Culture Fest, when you see the Resource Center, when I see people out in the community, they recognize you now. And so it's not like these walls that were built up. We're starting to take those walls down because in all intents and purposes, the Latino community are our neighbors. They are our friends. They work in the same places that we work. They're a vital member of our community. And I think the general public is starting to see that over time. And that's really why we're working towards that.
Right, and I mean, you've got them right next to you. I mean, that's just it. It's more prevalent than people might have realized, not because we weren't paying attention, but because, life's busy. And then, we've got more people considering Dubois County their home. Rossina, what have you kind of seen in the past few years as you've, again, been here in Dubois County? How has your culture kind of been shared amongst the area?
I feel we have seen a lot of cultural changes. And I'm going to start by saying the Latino culture used to be a festival in Dubois County. Right now, the Latino culture is part of Dubois County. We are one community. We have different backgrounds, but we are the same community. In the past, I noticed a fear about talking about, oh, are you Latino? What do you mean Latino? Is it the same Latino, Hispanic? Am I Latino? And I have to be very clear with this. Before living here in the United States, I was not a Latina. I was a Mexican. So just the understanding, the foundation of equity, of a global community, that has changed. We are more open to have these discussions. We are more open to say, I am Latina, I am Mexican, I am a United States citizen. I am all of that. That is my cultural identity, because cultural identity changes. And if we can instill that in every kid, in every young person with a different descent or ancestry, that sense of, I feel proud and I am this, but I'm also this, that is what we want. And just embracing the community, because ALASI, we wouldn't be here doing this interview if the community in Dubois County did not accept it, ALASI as part of the community. So we don't stand alone. We have organizations, we have community leaders, we have people who dare to share power, so we can all be here as one community. So that I can mention a lot of very specific examples. For we now have a Hispanic Latino exhibit in our Dubois County Museum. That's something we didn't have. Yes, we have a lot of those examples, but really the big thing, it's the integration of that identity, cultural identity.
And being comfortable in your identity is a huge factor in, feeling at home and feeling like this is where you belong. And it touches me. Hopefully it touches someone else out there that, you guys have been having these conversations for years now to break down those barriers, break down those stigmas and stereotypes, because you want everyone in the community to feel like they belong in the community, not just one or the other or things like that. And we commend you for that. And you guys continue to evolve and adapt the various things that you're offering. I want to congratulate you guys on the new logo update as well, because that's a big, bright, colorful thing to celebrate. And with that, you guys have here recently have implemented Cafe con ALASI. Do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Oh my goodness. Cafe con ALASI, when I was talking a little bit about our founders and how they created this monthly safe space for community to start sharing their opinions, this can be seen also as a continuation. Why? Because we work together with our school corporations. We work together. We find those allies, and we invite Spanish-speaking people to come to this event where we cover different topics, different health topics. We cover mental health, anxiety, depression, physical health, different ways they can access physical health. We cover substance use. We cover bullying. We cover the school system. We cover our government and civics and our rights and responsibilities as people living in this soil. We cover very important topics and ask very difficult questions while creating a safe space for the community to come and share life. At Cafe con ALASI, we don't have experts, but we do have a community that's willing to talk. So Cafe con ALASI, it's something we are very, very proud of. We've been doing this work for 4 years now. We've had some fantastic years where we've had more than 50 people in attendance, and we've had other cafes where we only have 3 people in attendance. But what I can say is consistency, that persistence, that being present and having the support of other organizations, like, for example, our schools, and this year very specifically being For Others Foundation. That is what we are about. It is, again, that collaboration. Café con ALASI, it's a monthly meeting, and now this year we're going to have, for the first time, another segment that's going to be housed on our website, and that segment of Café con ALASI, it's also in partnership with WBDC, where we're going to be sharing news, a health segment, and a cultural segment. And we're going to house that on YouTube.
That is an amazing resource to just continue to provide to those who speak Spanish. And again, just bridging that gap. It blows me away that you guys are able to come up with so many different ways to engage and make people feel like this is, 100% this is the community that they belong in and that they are included in. And that is huge. And with that, you guys have been at this effort and adapting and evolving for many years now. And again, the Resource Center is probably the newest addition to your guys' mission, per se. But how can people continue to support what you guys are doing? How can they provide volunteer work or help or things like that so that you guys can continue to make these grand strides in our local community?
I think you just mentioned some of them. ALASI is not a select group of people. The board is selected, but membership is a very loose term. It's if you want to be involved, if you are interested in this subject, please come and join us at any of these events. I'm starting to see the other boards I serve on, they're going, can we get to one of the Café con ALASIs and speak to the people? Because we're seeing a little bit of stepping back by the Latino community for some issues, and I'm specifically talking about healthcare. We don't want them to not get the necessary healthcare just because there might be some fear there. So, that's exactly what we're talking about. That it's almost like a round robin now, that people are learning about ALASI, and this is how they can become involved. And it just takes your heart and soul. Come get involved. It's something that just grows on you. It just touches me more than anything I've ever been involved in. I call this my passion project because it creates such a warm feeling. And if that's what you want, your community member want to get involved, reach out to Rossina or any of the board members and come to our meeting. So we have a roundtable meeting on the 15th at noon at VUJ. Please come out and just join us and find out the different topics we talk about. Or if you have an issue you need to bring to the table, that's a perfect opportunity and an easy way for you to get involved.
Rossina, can you say, or would you say that, if someone is seeking out resources or information, just reaching out to you and just saying, hey, I need help with this is a great place to start?
That is correct. You can always find us on Facebook. We have a very active Facebook page, our website, or send us a WhatsApp or a text. We are here for everybody. We are not just here for this type or this background. We are here for everybody. And providing access, it's one of our strongest pillars. Yes.
Right. And before we let you ladies go, I would love to maybe the acronyms. So what ALASI as in ALASI stands for, or what does ALASI mean to you both individually in a shorter form?
ALASI just means to me that we are put on this earth to reach out and to be there for people and open our hearts to people. We are all children of God. This is one very good way to show it. I will let you describe what ALASI means.
ALASI, Asociación Latinoamericana del Sur de Indiana, navigating Oportunidad, empowering Comunidad. This means that we are here. We are one community. We are all one community. And we together will help navigate this community. And then empowering Comunidad means we all share power. We are a philanthropic organization. This means that we all utilize our resources, whether it's volunteer time, whether it's your skills, whether it is money, whether it is whatever skill or asset you have, we share it. We share our power with our Comunidad.
Yes, and we hope to see the continued power and the continued community that ALASI has provided for this area. But for today, we thank you both for coming on and for talking with us. Again, the only way that we can continue to break down these barriers and stigmas is to educate and inform everyone that needs to know about it, that there are resources out there, especially in our local area here in Dubois County. And we appreciate the work that you guys continue to do to allow that to happen.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again. And thank you so much at home, in your car, on your phone, however you are viewing or watching this or listening to this In.form here on 101 Country WBDC and 18 WJTS, again with ALASI.
This has been In.form on WBDC and 18 WJTS. Catch past episodes on our social media pages and our websites. If it matters to you, it matters to us. In.form.